The Z to Z Podcast.
Good morning, good evening, or good day, and welcome to the Z to Z Podcast, the home for Xbox achievement hunters and Gamerscore junkies. I'm your host, Brandon Fream, and thank you so much for listening. At Z to Z, we love gaming, and in particular, grabbing achievements and gaining Gamerscore. We do news, reviews, and interviews. If it's about achievements, we'll unlock it. You can find show notes for this show, as well as previous shows, on our website, z2z.com. This is episode 103. You can also contact us with questions or comments on Twitter, at Z2Z, Z-E-D-T-O-Z-E-D, over at our forums, forum.z2z.com, or email us directly, contact@z2z.com. Well, I'm not going to be the host tonight, so I'm going to turn it over to Randy and Proulx at the minimum. But I do want to say, so I do have a contest roundup at the end of the show here. And if you're interested in listening for the game mashup, I'll tack it on to the front of that. So stick around for the end of the show. But in the meantime, enjoy what you got here. I'll talk to you guys later.
Good morning, good evening, or good day. Welcome to Z to Z, your home for... Oh, wait, so I guess Fream already did that bit there. And also a lovely introduction, I'm sure. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Z to Z. It is me, Proulx, and with me, of course, this week is Randy. Randy, how are you?
I'm okay.
Just okay?
Yeah.
Not like, it's the holiday season. You're not feeling festivus. You're not feeling you're not feeling the love. You're not feeling the warmth of the season.
Is kind of
I didn't
like
even mean to say
a staple 90s Christmas time holiday. So maybe I should get a Festivus poll.
Here the thing is, I never have ever understood the whole Seinfeld thing. Never been a fan.
Oh, I love Seinfeld. I mean, I know a lot of people aren't. I don't know. It's just, I don't know what it is about it. I mean, well, first of all, the 90s aesthetic is top
It is
notch.
A very 90s show.
It is
very
top notch. But it is also, even before I was into the 90s and the aesthetic of the 90s, I did enjoy Seinfeld quite a bit. And then, that just, I went back and I rewatched everything, and it's great. I added a few great screenshots of company logos and paper cups to my my collection of 90s images.
Interesting. There was actually somebody told me about this t-shirt company from the UK, and I'll have to look this up because this is very interesting. But they exclusively print t-shirts, and it's kind of like a cafe press or something like that. Mm-hmm. And they exclusively print clothing and whatever, mugs and all these sorts of things with fictional companies from pop culture, and like really high quality stuff. So it's really awesome. I'll have to look that up to see. Anyways, wow, we already got off.
See if we can get some what's it called, Vandalay Industries shirts.
Oh, see, I don't get that reference.
Yeah, you probably don't get that. Yeah. Is that a
Seinfeld reference?
It's a running Seinfeld thing. Yeah.
Okay. See, here's an unpopular opinion that I imagine many people won't share, but it'll get some talk going. 90s sitcoms, I would pick Friends over Seinfeld 1,000 times over.
I need to watch Friends. It's been on my to-watch list for a long time because I'm sure I would also enjoy it very much.
Yes, it is, especially early on, because that show ran for 10 years.
Yeah, Seinfeld did too.
Yeah.
I think it was 9 or 10 years, but yeah. I'm pretty sure it ran from 1990, and then the last season aired in 1999.
It's crazy to think about.
But it was good. I'm glad they killed it off when they did and didn't run it into the ground like most
Although
things.
10 years is a long time, even for TV shows. That's a good chunk of time.
It's a long time, but it's not so long where you're like, why is it still on TV?
No. Well, anyway. So we've already gotten off track. So it's actually going to be kind of a little bit of a quieter show. It's just me and Randy here. So sorry if we're not your favorite hosts, but you're going to have to deal with it this week. However, this also means that those people who prefer the shorter shows, you may be in for a treat. I imagine I don't want to suggest that we don't have the capability to go off the rails like we normally do, but I think we could probably keep it reined in as best as we can this week. So, Randy, let's just start and talk about our wins of the week. What would you say? Anything good happened to you? Do you have anything exciting?
Yeah, I did, because actually just a few hours ago I completed Cuphead. Well, not completed the achievements, but I beat the game.
Okay, so
and
it was good. It was a positive experience.
What a wonderful game!
Wow. Okay.
Cuphead is. It is so refreshing. It's the same kind of refreshing as it is to play a game like Sonic Mania, where it's just this pure game, free of DLC and microtransactions, built by a small team that is just of the highest quality there is. Like, it is. That game is outstanding.
Game of the year?
Like, I mean, realistically, probably not, but for me, maybe.
Oh, I mean, for you, yeah. I mean, we'll talk about it, I'm sure, in a few weeks here. But
yeah,
is it up there?
It depends. I need to have a look at. I know Resident Evil 7 was very, very well received and kind of done well as a kind of a reboot. That's on my list when a complete edition comes out. Wolfenstein 2 also looks very, very good. So we'll see. And of course, South Park came out this year too, but Cuphead and Sonic Mania are kind of on a different level though, because they're it's just a tight, perfect game. Like, I gave it 5 stars. I haven't even completed it yet. I almost never do that. I usually wait until I fully complete a game, get all the achievements before I give it a rating. But
now I've heard
that good.
It's a bit challenging. Is that the case, or?
Well, yes, it's not an easy game.
Okay.
But it's also not an extremely difficult game either. Now, I haven't played expert mode yet. Expert mode, it really appears that the bosses maybe get slightly faster and just have more health. So if you know the patterns of the bosses, you're fine. You just have to be able to dodge them for longer than you did before. But it's one of these things like Dark Souls where this difficulty gets this kind of momentum of very casual people playing this, be like, oh, this is the hardest game I've ever played. And then, then it just gets blown out of proportion. It's not that hard. It really is not that hard. There was only one boss that I truly felt hopeless on passing for a little while, which after playing for a couple of hours didn't feel hopeless anymore. And then ended up with, actually, at the time I beat that boss, it was a perfect run. I had no damage, all my parries, and all my super hits, and got a perfect rating on that fight. I mean, I could have just as easily lost, because it's very easy to lose all your hits in seconds, because it's a tough game. It's a shoot 'em up. It's not an easy game, but at the same time, I would only say, in terms of its difficulty so far, I haven't played expert mode yet, so we'll see. But from what I've seen of expert mode, really, if you beat the game already, you should be able to beat expert mode without a ton of extra difficulty. And if you beat the game with some kind of, cushion of comfort, where if you're really just barely getting by on each of the bosses, you're going to have a hard time. But I would say it's not much harder than Dark Souls in terms of a game. And Dark Souls is, again, it's a challenging game, but it's all about learning the game, learning the tools you have to succeed, and then using them to succeed, just like Cuphead. So at first it feels impossible, but once you learn the mechanics of the game and learn how to play the game, it very quickly no longer feels that way.
So, like, out of 10, what would that be for difficulty rating?
7.
7? Okay. So yeah. Like you say, challenging, but not
very doable. I would say anybody who is even, not really bad or really casual at gaming is going to be able to complete Cuphead. It's going to take some people longer than others, but it's by no means impossible.
So, and even us here on the show, we've made, we kind of rolled our eyes at the Cuphead thing, because it was, Microsoft touted it out for, years. And
yes, it was. I understand now why there was so much praise and hype initially. It's just a shame that it took it so long to come out. Now, I'm very glad they did that because it really, really shows. There are no corners cut in this game, period. The only thing that feels tacked on is the run and gun levels. Because the game was criticized for being basically just boss battles, they added these run and gun sections, and the game's not built to be a run and gun. It's built to be a boss fighter.
Okay.
So they're not bad. Like the sections aren't bad. They just feel out of place because your weapons aren't designed to be used that way. Your play style is not really designed to work with those kind of levels. They're not bad. They just feel out of place. That's really kind of what it comes down to. And I think they feel out of place because they weren't supposed to be there, and they were kind of added in later. But I wouldn't say it takes away from the quality of the game by any means. It's just more stuff. I did not experience a single bug. I've probably put in 15 hours. The soundtrack is unbelievable. It's so good. Everything is just so good.
And obviously, of course, nothing but praise for the graphics, I assume, as well, right?
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
I can't imagine sitting there drawing for that long. Because think about it. I mean, if this game runs at 30 frames per second, that is 30 drawings for 1 second of animation of one object.
Or I don't know much about the actual development of the game. Has it actually been, it's all hand drawn? That's what they say?
Everything.
Wow.
Everything is drawn
impressive.
by hand.
Okay.
Yeah. And yeah, it's crazy.
So, we talked
absolutely. And at $20, you don't even need to wait for it to go on sale. Just buy it. It's so good.
Yeah. And well, we know that this game has been in development for so long. Maybe this would be a good game to forego the sale for. But we talked a little bit about it because the reason I hesitated on picking it up was because I wanted to play co-op, and there's no online co-op, right? It's only couch co-op.
Yes,
but you're saying that you think it's a better experience.
Yeah,
solo?
I don't think this would be a good co-op experience. I think co-op is probably, I don't think it'll be bad, but the reality is, unless you are playing with somebody that is the same skill level as you, they're going to be dragging you down.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
They're going to be dragging you down because the bosses are going to be twice as strong, and they're going to take twice as much damage. And unless your partner is doing as much damage per second as you are, that means you just have to survive that much longer. You can revive each other. I don't know if there's any penalty for doing that. I know it's kind of, you have to parry their ghost to revive them. So, sometimes you can do it, sometimes you can't do it. But it's, I don't know. I would like to try it, but it really does feel like it is designed as a single player game.
How long of a game?
Of actual playing, it probably took me 15 hours to get through it.
Oh, okay. So it's meaty enough for a side scrolling.
Now you could beat it in an hour if you did all the fights first try, but that's not going to happen.
That's just not going to happen.
Yeah, it's like an arcade game. You can beat Metal Slug in 20 minutes. I don't know about 20 minutes, but very short amount of time if you know what you're doing, but you're not typically going to do that ever.
Right.
Because unless you're super good at the game.
Super speedrunner maniac.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good. That's so you just nothing but praise from Randy over here. So really, I would say
that's coming from me.
Yeah, it's a sunny day over here now. It's not rainy at all. That's all praise for Cuphead.
And there's just like even there's very little story, but it's kind of told through the characters. Like they're just all kind of just the way they're animated and drawn and how everything. It's so good. It's so good.
Yeah, I imagine I'll pick it up at some point. Probably not anytime soon though. Especially since it's Christmas time and all sorts of games are going on sale at this point. But we'll talk a little bit more about that later. My win of the week is you know what? I had some fun this week boosting Halo for the first time. probably ever. We didn't. So, and that's not.
So your other Halo boosting is not fun, but this is fun.
Well, here's the thing. It's not even really boosting. So we're doing Halo 5 now. And by the way, if you'd like to join, we do it every Tuesday.
No. No Halo 5.
I don't mean you specifically, but anybody listening. But you could join too, but obviously you're not interested. But so Halo 5 multiplayer achievements are really slim. There's not that many. There's maybe 10, including all the title update stuff. And it's not like, get this kill with this weapon on this map or anything like that. Most of it is play 5 capture the flag matches or win 3 rounds of Warzone or whatever. And so it's not really even boosting it. It's kind of just playing the game. Whereas, up until this point with Halo 3 and 4 and Reach and all this stuff, it was more like, let's find the map, let's find what we need to do. We'll all stand around, and shoot at each other, which is, typical boosting experience. But Halo 5 is like, oh, we have enough people. Let's just get into this Warzone match and just play. We just need to win on 3 maps or whatever. And so that's what I mean by fun. It's like we're actually legit kind of playing as well. And it was a good time. We had a lot of fun. A lot of people showed up. I think there was 8 of us total playing some Firefight Warzone stuff. Again, Halo 5, not my favorite game of all time, but it's certainly not my favorite Halo game of all time. But it was a good time playing it. Like, we had to cooperate. Everybody was, trying to win and get as many points as possible and survive. And so, it's just a different, quote unquote, legit boosting. That's a term I just made up, but makes no sense. But if you kind of get my meaning, actually having to play the game as it was intended instead of trying to manipulate things just to get achievements. So it was a good time. And there's not that much. Like I said, there's only a handful of achievements in Halo 5. So we probably have 2 or 3 weeks left of quote unquote boosting it. And then the rest is all campaign stuff. So that is that. Have you been playing anything else other than Cuphead this week, Randy?
Yes, I've been playing Agents of Fun.
Oh, yes, that's right. We need to talk about this.
I didn't get to talk about this yet. So did you get it for $5 at Redbox?
Oh, no. You told me about it, but I just didn't have enough interest.
You should have, because
it's worth $5.
You won't believe this, but it is worth $5. Yeah, you heard that. Agents of Mayhem is not as bad as it looked and sold. The gunplay in that game is actually really solid. And it's a shame that everything else is terrible. Because it could have been a really good game. And it's not a bad game. I mean, so far, most of the time spent with it has been enjoyable. The only problem is there are certain things that just, like, typically like explosions or lasers that just kind of come out of nowhere and completely incapacitate and kill you instantly without warning. So it's so chaotic a lot of the time that you don't even know what's going on, and then you just die. And you're like, why did I die? And then it's just, oh, there was a turret there that was invisible or something. Like, it seems like the whole game is just confused of what it's trying to be. Because it's kind of got like a Borderlands-y kind of thing with like the look and the play style, but not quite, because there's not infinite equipment that you have to throw away. And it's like kind of an RPG, and it's kind of a third-person shooter, and it's kind of open world, but not really. And it seems like it should be multiplayer, but it's not. So it's a real, like, beer at Volition kind of game.
So better than Saints Row 4.
Well, way better. Way. Because like I am enjoying it. Like as a whole, right now, I'd probably put it between 2.5 and 3 stars. So it's not super great, but it's also not really terrible. And it has, if there was an Agents of Mayhem 2, I might give it a shot, just because it has things in it that show a lot of promise, but it's just kind of sloppily put together in other aspects.
So better than Saints Row 4. How does it compare? Is it better or equal or worse than Saints Row 3?
Probably worse than Saints Row 3
But
as
not,
a whole.
But not significantly
The combat is better. Everything else is worse. Because Saints Row 3 had a mostly coherent story. You knew what was going on. Pretty decent sized city that you could, like navigate properly. There were like customizations and cars. It had a lot of like the Saints Row elements that made Saints Row really good, but it was kind of watered down. Where Agents of Mayhem is kind of like, I don't know. It's really tough to describe because I don't know any other games that are really similar to it. I don't know. It feels like it's like 75% done. Not in like a buggy way, just in a like we didn't really know what we were doing. We couldn't tie up all. We couldn't kind of streamline the whole experience.
Mm-hmm.
It's just kind of weird and all over the place, and I don't exactly know what they're going for. But that being said,
what about the achievements? Like similar,
easy.
Easy. Okay.
I mean, they're gonna take some time, but not difficult. I mean, it's a similar kind of what you're looking at to like a Saints Row 4 in terms of time commitment, I think. The only thing that's really problematic is the connected contracts, which are they're just daily challenges that are really excessively time consuming, that you can have other people join you online and play, but there aren't that many people playing or focusing on contracts, and you have to be online when they complete. So if you do 20 or 30% of a contract and someone comes along and finishes it while you're offline, well, you don't get credit.
Oh, okay. All right.
So I've been leaving. So when I log on and play and I make progress, you actually don't even have to make progress. You can just join them and then leave your Xbox on. So I just leave my Xbox on. Like right now it's running because I've got 3 contracts that are half done that maybe, one of the 4 other people in the contract with me will finish it while I'm down here, and then I'll still get credit for it. So you have to do 15 of those, and there's only 3 a day. So that's annoying, but doable. Then the only other one that's slightly difficult is beat the game on difficulty level 7, and there are 15 difficulty levels. So not that hard, especially once you've leveled up all the way. It should be pretty easy. And then you have to find all 350 collectibles that are not marked on the map.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
So that's a pain. But the city is not very big. It's really quite small. So I think that won't be too bad. But there's probably going to be 2 left at the end of the game. Then I'm going to have to go through all of them to find the 2 that I missed.
Yeah, of course.
So, we'll see how that goes.
All right.
Yeah, worth $5. Not... And the thing that kills me is like most of the reason it's so terrible is because it's so like the story is so dumb. It doesn't know what it's trying to be.
So does it try to take itself more seriously than Saints Row 4 did, or even 3, or is it because like you're saying, I kind of got mixed messages from the marketing. Like I couldn't tell.
And there's mixed messaging from the story. It's like they're trying to target an audience of 12-year-olds and then not. Mm-hmm. There's a whole level that the entire time you're in the level, both the characters and the speakers in the place where you're in like a planetarium or something. They just make Uranus jokes.
Okay.
For like 5 straight minutes. And they're not all different, but it's just like bombarding you. It's like, okay, we get it. It's Uranus joke.
Were there any good ones?
I mean, maybe like 1, but the problem is it's just beaten to death immediately. I know I'm talking about beating a dead horse on the ZZ podcast, the horse beating podcast, but it's like, what, like, why are you, who was like, yeah, that's improving the experience. It's like, okay, 1 or 2 there, it's going to be funny, but it's just like, here's 100.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's really confusing what it's trying to be. And like the story is like super bad, and like really just the characters are all like Saints Row 4, like just super over the top for no reason, which makes
any microtransactions?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Not obnoxious and not necessary, but they are there. I think there's only like one menu where you see them. There's a lot of cosmetic add-ons. No DLC content as far as I can tell. None with achievements anyway. So yeah, I mean, if you find one at Redbox for like $5 or $10, I'd say it's worth it.
Interesting. Okay,
I mean, it's going. I think it will remain enjoyable. I'm probably like 10 hours in, and it's held being enjoyable. The missions are confusing. The objectives are confusing. The gunplay is good. That's kind of, yeah.
So are you feeling Christmassy at all? Because you gave a glowing review to Cuphead. You gave
I know, it's weird, right? I'm playing games I don't hate.
A halfway decent review to a Saints Row game. You seem to be
Saints
in
Row
quite a good
I
mood.
know. I just can't feel fair totally dumping on Agents of Mayhem. And the funny thing was, so there was, I guess it was 2 weeks ago, on Thursday or Friday, when somebody in the Discord chat said, "Hey, Agents of Mayhem is $5," and then I just drove down to my Redbox. It was like 4 minutes from my house, bought it, and then the next day Warren came out, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I just picked up Agents of Mayhem for $5," and so we stopped by the Redbox on the way back to my place and got him a copy. So we played quite a bit of Agents of Mayhem, not together because there's no co-op, but in the same, just in the same room, playing kind of from the beginning of the game at the same time. And kind of his consensus was, I want to hate this game, but I can't totally do it. It's kind of the same thing. Like, you want to not like it because it has so much that is unlikable about it, but the core gameplay mechanics are pretty good. So you can't totally hate it, which is unfortunate. So if they stripped away all that stuff and just kind of, cleaned it up a bit,
could have a halfway decent game, huh?
Maybe we could have a good game. Maybe we could have another good Saints Row game.
Very cool. Very cool. Have you played anything else other than just those two games?
I think that's all I played. Yeah, it's mostly been Cuphead on my computer because I went to California. So that was
is it a Play Anywhere title?
It is.
Oh, I didn't know that. Interesting.
Oh, now I'm going to go on another tangent, another little rant here. The Windows Store. So I always knew the Windows Store was bad. I guess they renamed it to the Microsoft Store now to make things even more confusing with the Microsoft Store that you go to buy things that are physical. Now it's going to be called the Microsoft Store on Windows 10. Where you download your Play Anywhere titles. So there's a setting there where you basically do the equivalent of setting your home Xbox, where you can access your content offline that you own on that one computer, and you can change it 3 times a year or whatever, just like your home Xbox. So I was like, great. I've got 2 4-hour flights. Cuphead's a single player game. Yeah, I'll buy Cuphead and play it on my flight. Well, download Cuphead at a painfully slow rate of
oh man,
it took like 8 hours to download Cuphead. It took 20 minutes to download on my Xbox. It took 8 hours to download on my computer.
I think, just as an aside, because I've been recently downloading a bunch of games on my 360, and oh man, same thing. I think that the Windows Store games are hosted on the old 360 servers.
I don't know what is insane. Up. Well, but sometimes, once in a while, you'll get a good connection and it'll download it like full speed, like on your Xbox.
I've never had that. Not on the Windows Store.
It's only happened once.
It's crazy. I don't know.
It was a miracle. It was a miracle
because the Xbox One store is
it's fine. It's always
the speeds
fine.
are really good. I'm over 100 megs down constantly. And so no issues with that at all. I can download something real quick on that store. But the Windows Store?
The Windows Store
it's bad.
So this just adds to everything about the Windows Store is bad. I mean, it's a pain to manage anything with your games. It's a pain to use anything from it. So now get this. So I set my home computer to my home computer. I launch the games, like it said. And I did the same thing with Killer Instinct because I was like, okay, maybe I want to play Killer Instinct. Because same thing. I can do some single player stuff in there. Get on my flight, open up my laptop. You need to be connected to the internet to launch this.
No.
I'm like, what? Are you kidding? I did everything the instructions said to play it offline. Like, it is the checkbox or the switch or whatever in the options in the Windows Store app says play games offline on this computer. Very specific. And then, so the error message also has an option to copy to clipboard. Don't know what it copies to your clipboard, but that's on there.
The error message, obviously. Probably the error code, I imagine.
Maybe. I don't know why there's no error code, but it just says copy to clipboard. I don't know what it is.
It just copies to clipboard that you can't play online or offline.
And then the other thing too is like the instructions on the Xbox website to play the games offline is out of date. Like the method to the location of the things to do to enable that has moved, and the guide has not been updated. So I think somebody just changed something and didn't fix, and nobody's noticed.
So as of right now, you still don't know how to play the games offline?
No, you cannot play Windows Store games offline. It would let me launch Killer Instinct, but only the free character was there, even though I own all of them.
Only the free character of the week or whatever?
Yeah.
That's funny.
That's the only one that was there. And I think Jago. Jago's there as well. But like, I might have just unlocked him in Shadow Lords or something. Maybe that's why he's there. But so that was wonderful. So much for Xbox Play Anywhere.
Well,
Play anywhere you have internet.
Exactly.
And then I'm stuck in Chicago Midway Airport for 9 hours. We have to pay for the internet.
Oh.
I did not pay for the internet.
Oh, that's terrible.
But I have internet for my phone there, so I could play Cuphead.
Yeah, I guess it's just authentication checks. I'm not really sure.
It is, yeah, because if you go offline, because I checked before I left my house, I just disconnected my Wi-Fi and launched Cuphead, and it launched offline, no problem. So what the problem is it just needs to authenticate it once, and then it works. So what it's supposed to do is when you launch it after you authorize that computer, it's just supposed to stay authenticated, which it no longer does.
Oh, okay, I see. Yeah.
So, because, stay authenticated after you shut down your computer forever. Just like your home Xbox. It just knows that, okay, this computer I can play my games on that I've launched while I was online once.
I would be curious to know if it was working properly, and like once you authenticate or authorize that computer, you can play offline. Like if you were playing in the air on your flight or whatever, and you got some achievements, I imagine they would work similarly to how they do with the Windows Phone. They timestamp them to whenever you actually. Well,
no, they are just like Xbox One. So when you come online, they stamp the time you come online. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But the problem is it doesn't let you launch the game.
Right.
Like that's the issue. Mm-hmm. It's like whatever it is that's saying this computer is permanently authenticated does not work.
Well, it works. It's just you have to be online for it to access it. But obviously.
Yeah. So I will admit I did look at that $6 for 1 hour of on-flight internet, but I did not give in to that too much money for 1 hour of internet.
I was going to say 1 hour would be dicey if you were there for.
See, 1 hour is enough to authenticate, though.
Yeah,
that's all I cared about. I needed 1 second. I just needed to go online and launch Cuphead, and then it works until I close it.
Yeah.
Or actually works until I shut off my computer.
I was going to say, next time you have a flight, what you do is before you get on the plane, before you start boarding, you pull out your laptop and does sleep mode count? Because can you just hibernate it or whatever?
Maybe. I didn't try, but I was needless to say, I was very upset, and it's not Xbox Play Anywhere. It's Xbox Play Anywhere with internet.
It should be.
Which is not in the air. It even specifically says in the guide, like one of the recommended places to use this feature is a long flight.
Yeah. That's too bad. Hopefully they iron all that stuff out.
I don't think it's going to happen.
No.
This is the Windows Store we're talking about.
It also seems like, it's
the Windows Store.
It's the Windows Store.
The solution to the Windows Store is don't use the Windows Store.
Microsoft's, PC quote unquote solution for games, it doesn't seem like they really have. There's not very cohesive, and they're very mixed messaged about it. It's weird. I don't know.
And the Windows Store is like Games Windows Live again. Like, yeah.
I don't know. It's tough. I don't envy their position, because it's kind of a weird with
it's like they pretend to care and then don't do anything.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't even know the solution because
the solution is don't use it. Just put it on Steam because it all goes to Steam anyway. Just integrate Xbox Live with your Steam.
Wait a minute. You are now.
I hate Steam, but I hate the Windows Store more because Steam, when I set my computer to let me play things offline, guess what Steam does?
Yeah. That's a fair point.
Play them offline.
That's a fair point. Okay.
Now, again, not a fan, but
yeah, if it gets you,
anyway.
If you can play your games, then that's the biggest issue. So okay.
That's my little rant on the Windows Store.
Frustrations all around. I get it. I can sympathize. But okay, so I have been playing other games as well, and I'll run through my list pretty quickly, since that is actually how we got on this subject. So today, well, I guess technically last night, the new Random To-Do list came out. So I've been going at it pretty hard today. So I played some quick Dishonored, X-Men Origins Wolverine, Destroy All Humans, and oh god, Burn the Rope on the Windows Phone. I got a quick achievement in it, but I thought I was never going to play that game again, and I never ever.
I've heard that one's pretty bad.
Ever want to play that game again? It's so bad. It is so bad. So Burn the Rope on the Windows Phone is this game where there are literally ropes, of different designs on the screen, and you tap to light the rope on fire, and the fire travels upwards, and that uses your gyroscope to determine. You have to actually rotate your phone.
Oh, it's one of those gyroscope games.
Yes.
I hate those.
And it is, God, I hate that game so much. I never want to play that game again, but I did get my achievement. So, and then that's probably what I'm going to be doing in the upcoming. I want to really go at the Random To-Do list pretty good this week, in part because of the new segment we have here on the show with Elroy and the other L. And that was very motivating. And then, of course, Tarragon challenged me to kind of a bit of a Random To-Do list competition between the two of us. And then, of course, it's a great competition. So that's what I'm going to be focusing on. Other than that, I've been doing some regular boosting with Halo and Left 4 Dead and Plants vs. Zombies and some Telltale stuff. I'm actually coming to the end. I'm getting very close to the end of my Telltale stacking. I believe at this point, all I have are the as of yet uncompleted Telltale games. So Minecraft Story Season 2 and Batman Season 2. I'm pretty sure I have all of the other...
Have you done Wallace and Gromit?
No, all of the other post-Walking Dead. I did start the second of the 3 CSI games, which are Telltales. Old Telltales. And then after that, I'm going to do the Wallace and... Wait, are the Wallace and Gromit the ones that are delisted?
They are delisted.
Yes. There's another game series that haven't been delisted by Telltale. Sam and Max. I don't think they're delisted, are they?
No, they're not delisted.
Okay.
They were in Game Pass.
So
I think they're still in Game Pass.
I'm going to do them, and then hopefully, if I can find a buddy to come visit that may have those Wallace and Gromit games, that would be awesome. But I don't know. We'll see. So, but I have all the modern Telltale games. I'm pretty much caught up on. I just have to kind of do the most modern stuff. So, that's exciting. I can stop doing those now. And then that's it. That's it for me. So,
Yeah, pretty quiet week too.
Yeah, nothing too crazy up until Random To-Do came out. Okay, so let's move on.
Oh, this. As I was editing the podcast, I knew this was coming, or this had already happened shortly after recording this news item we have up next here.
Go ahead, take it.
The Marvel Heroes Omega shut down early.
Yes.
Very early.
Well, yes. Technically, yes.
I mean, yes and no.
Yeah. So, as I mentioned last week, I had been making a real big push for it to get as much done as I possibly could. The news came out when it first broke, when Disney kind of canceled their contract with Gazillionaire or Bazillionaire, whatever it is, that they were going to be ending the servers on the 31st of December. Then it came down the pipe that, well, maybe we only have enough money to the end of the week, which was actually not too far off. They said Friday, as in Black Friday, and the servers stayed up until Monday. So it seemed as though whoever was the landlord or maybe somebody just kind of shutting off the servers, just they killed it. And so we got an extra 3 days, which was good. I got a bunch done. I think I'm at like 720 or something out of the game. So it gave a lot of people a little bit of extra time. Of course, we didn't get the whole extra time until the end of December. But yeah, no, I'll read the note that they left. They said, "It is with great sadness that we announce the closing of Gazillion Entertainment. As a result, we are no longer able to operate Marvel Heroes Omega until December 31st as originally planned. Instead, Marvel Heroes Omega will be sunset immediately." Yeah, because I think they had already shut it off at that point, "on all platforms, and will no longer be available as soon as this process is completed." I think they just kind of pulled the plug out of the back of the server. The company would like to sincerely thank its fans and employees for all their support over years of development and live service. So this was no good. No good. I know you didn't play it, but it was actually a pretty good game. It was a solid kind of Marvel dungeon crawler, superhero dungeon crawler. It was a lot of fun. It's too bad.
It's also kind of bad when that just happens, when it kind of comes out of nowhere and bam, gone.
Yeah, when Disney is not happy with you, they can make very bad things happen, I think. From what I understand, and I'm not completely up to date on exactly what was going on. It seems to be it was mismanaged into the ground. And, it's kind of a danger of playing games now. It's weird to think that you no longer have access to a game that you once did, at all. You can't play it offline. There's no and of course this has been a thing that's been happening for years now at this point, but you can never play it again.
This is my fear of the digital future.
Yeah.
And it just happened with, I guess it hasn't happened yet, but it will be happening with the Wii. That's everything digital. Gone.
Yeah.
It's pretty significant.
Well, what are you still doing playing your Wii, Randy?
Nothing.
No.
But I think I had Ninja Turtles for NES. I think that was the only
Was it the original one? I don't remember.
The adventure one with the stupid water level.
Yeah, so that's the original one. Oh god, that game. Oh.
It's not. People say that's a terrible game. It's not a terrible game.
It's not a terrible game. It's
not a great game either.
No, it's super hard. Basically that one level is stupid hard. The
water level,
the dam level. Yeah.
The rest of the infinitely respawning enemies are pretty bad. They're manageable, but that water level,
yeah, it's bad.
Oh, man, and I remember there was one time where I got past that water level. I had half a health.
On one turtle.
On one turtle, and I got to see the next level for 2 seconds. Then that car that drives around outside of the sewers just ran me over.
That's awesome. That's actually pretty funny.
Just right away, it's great. Now I got to beat this stupid water level again. I think that. Well, no, I was going to say I think that was the last time I played it. No, I need to go back and play that game though. I need to revisit.
You don't really need to. Literally any of the other Turtle games are better than that original game.
Yeah, but that's the original.
What's interesting about that game,
the original,
is the cover art for that game features the original turtle designs, where all four of the turtles are wearing the same colored headbands and stuff.
I do remember that.
Yeah, they're all wearing red ones. So I don't remember specifically when it came out. It may have come out before the cartoon, though I doubt it. But that's interesting. It's always, as a kid, I was confused by it because I didn't understand.
Yeah, me too. That's why I remember it. I was confused by it.
Why is everybody Raphael? That doesn't make any sense. But that's an interesting. Anyways, let's move on to our next news topic. Guess what, Randy? We like cereal. We talk about it quite a bit.
Oh, I was misreading the next news item.
Oh, okay.
Yes, we do talk about it quite a bit.
They're going to come out with Super Mario cereal. How great is this?
I'll probably give it a try.
Yeah. I mean, it looks just it's basically Lucky Charms.
It looks like Lucky Charms, yeah.
But instead of, I guess, the Lucky Charms, you get 1-up mushrooms and question blocks and, typical Mario fare. But I guess the real hook with the Super Mario cereal is Amiibo integration? Question mark?
Kind of, yeah.
Do you know how this works at all? Because I'm kind of confused by it.
Yeah, so I was just reading it, and it looks like So I don't know, Nintendo is or is going to be releasing amiibo cards that have the NFC, they use NFC chips, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that has the NFC chip in the card. So you don't need the figure to use your amiibo. So I guess what this cereal box, some of these, it doesn't say all of them, it just says some of them, have an amiibo sticker on it that is obviously just a NFC chip in a, stickery thing of some kind that works with Super Mario Odyssey. So
Interesting.
I don't know. I mean,
I actually don't know how
do anything for me.
I don't know how amiibos work on the Switch. I guess the actual Switch itself, the screen,
Yep.
the screen has the NFC field on it.
Yeah, because I think the later DSs have it built in, right?
Yes.
You don't need the extra. Yeah, so it must just be the same thing where there's an NFC reader somewhere
on
in
the
it.
Wii U. It was on the tablet thing itself.
Yeah,
but the Switch is a little bit, it's much slimmer, and there's.
I would actually guess it would be in the controller hands.
It may be. That's what I was.
Because if you're docking it, you're not going to like walk up to your dock to wave your amiibo card every time you need one.
Interesting. Well,
I don't know.
Maybe if I get a Switch for Christmas, I can test this out and let you know. But we'll see. That's probably not going to happen.
As like in cereals and things. That being said, I might be able to tie this in, see if I can find one at Target, because I have to go to Target, even though I really don't like Target, to get some Prongles.
Oh yes, I forgot about those.
Have you seen Prongles?
I saw somebody posted about it, but why don't you go ahead and tell everybody about it?
Well, Prongles is the great taste from Malaysia. It is a chips by the Cards Against Humanity company called Prongles, and the slogan is "Once you pop, that's great." And it's pretty much just like a parody of dollar store knockoff brands and 2000s, like early 2000s commercials. It's wonderful. Prongles.com has music integrated into the website. Like, from way back when music would just play when you went to a website.
Yeah, you remember autoplay music? Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's the Prongles website has that. And they come in great flavors like potato and salt. And I think the other one is onion and cream, I think, with Malaysian white onions and cream, and potato and pure white salt. I think it's Prongles.com.
It's not, because I just tried to go there. Prongles.com, this is actually pretty funny as well. Apparently redirects you to this place called closeoutexplosion.com, which appears to be some sort of a laundromat not laundromat, but dry cleaning facility in Brooklyn. So random.
That's weird.
Yeah.
But it's actually originalprongles.com.
Oh, okay. That's actually hilarious. And Cards Against Humanity seems to be doing these sorts of things like every 6 months or so. These publicity stunts, they're really funny. I feel like they're like the Onion of card games,
of products.
Yeah, of products in general. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, here it is. Real potatoes and perfectly white salt for salt and potato flavor.
That's awesome.
And then tangy Malaysian onions slathered in thick white cream.
Oh yeah,
so it's not sour cream and onion. I would say more early 2000s than 90s.
The website I'm specifically talking the cartoon.
I mean,
pig.
like the advertising.
Yeah,
and yeah, it's pretty fantastic. So we'll put originalprongles.com down in the show notes. Because that was a good one. Because I got hit with Prongles twice. So first, somebody sent me just a picture of Prongles, and I thought it was just like dollar store knockoff Pringles, because that's what it looks like. Because like I've been to stores that have stuff like that. That's just like horrible attempt at knockoff. And then the slogan, "Once you pop, that's great," is also like the type of slogan you'd find on one of those things. Then I come to find out that no, they're very real in actual stores and made by Cards Against Humanity Company. I feel like the Cards Against Humanity Company is like my dream for Shovelware Empire. It's like you just make joke products and then people buy them.
Oh, see, I was unaware.
Like
you can actually, these are chips that you can go buy and eat right now. Oh, I thought this was just a joke. Okay.
No. This is real. Like that's what I was saying. The Target.
It's a Target. Okay.
I'm going to go to this weekend apparently has some. They're sold out online, but apparently the Target around here has some Prongles.
I wonder if, like, I don't know, like if they just Pringles actually manufactures them and they just paid. I don't know. Like I can't imagine they went through a whole process of this sort of thing for this joke. That's probably only going to be.
They say they're from Malaysia.
That's true.
Like they really hammer that home. Like there's like 3 different references to them being from Malaysia on the website.
Maybe there's some Pringles Malaysia connection that we missed or something. I don't know.
Maybe. I mean, maybe Pringles are made in Malaysia. I don't know. But I enjoyed Prongles very much. Got to get some Prongles this weekend.
So let's talk, Randy, about one of your favorite subjects. I asked for some what people wanted to hear, and I didn't bring this up. This was Skeptical Mario, so we're going to have a conversation about it. But this kind of fits in with the news. It came out just recently that Clicker Heroes 2, which I know you love, but you'll also love this information, is going to be microtransaction free. How do you feel about that? Just that piece of information on the surface.
Without already knowing the price, or just in general?
Yeah, just the fact that they say they're going microtransaction free. That should make you happy, right?
Yes.
Okay. What if I told you Clicker Heroes 2 was going to cost you $5?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. What if I told you Clicker Heroes 2 was going to cost you $30?
No. Now, I have... Okay. So this is my thing. It's like, well, first of all, I will give it to them that this is very bold and could be a great precedent setter, because, yeah, you just set this is how much we want per person playing, and there it is. And then it's a real game, not tarnished by microtransactions. But that is not a complex game. And I don't imagine they're going to change a whole lot in Money Clicker 2. I don't know. Do you?
So what happened was the developers created this blog post called Why Clicker Heroes 2 is Abandoning Free-to-Play. Now, we've been talking a lot about this. We talked last week about Battlefront 2 with that whole controversy. And of course, obviously, loot boxes are all over the place in the gamosphere at this point. So the developers behind Clicker Heroes 2, basically, they say we don't want to participate in the loot box stuff anymore. We don't want to encourage people to spend this tiny bit of money and get addicted and all that sort of stuff. I applaud them for that. I think that's great.
Yeah, I do too. Because like the way it sounded to me is like the way they worded it is like, we don't want your money that you shouldn't be spending. Yeah. Basically, like because we know there are people out there that are spending money that they don't have or can't really afford to spend, and we feel bad taking it. Again, like I think that is great. But at the same time, I think $30 for Clicker Heroes 2 is ridiculous.
So, okay, I don't want to read... The blog post is fairly short, and we'll put it in the show notes, but please go read it if you can, because...
It is really good.
Yeah, it's...
Like, I like everything about this other than the price that they're asking for the game that they're selling. And, I mean, maybe they've revamped everything, but if they did, then it's not really Clicker Heroes anymore.
So
that's kind of the thing. Is like the nature of the game is incredibly simple and just a time sink.
So we'll get to that because I have some things to say about that. But I want to read just this short little paragraph from the post. But like I said, reading the whole post is going to do you much better than I can. They say, we want the experience to be good. The mere existence of real money purchases puts an ugly cloud over the player's experience with the persistent nagging feeling of, my game could be so much better if I just spent a few dollars. That alone feels terrible. So they're going into game design and how once they decided to change this from a microtransaction model to a full retail, quote unquote, retail experience, how much that shifted their thinking in the development of the game. And again, there's more paragraphs and there's lots of information there. Go read it if you can. I've been a Clicker Heroes advocate on the show for a long time. I love that game. I think it's great. But I get it. It's not for everyone, and it's a very kind of a niche experience. Clicker Heroes 2 going $30, I would have paid that anyways. That doesn't bother me. So that's fine. But I'm kind of the target audience for it. I also think people should try to support that movement as well. But I get your concerns, Randy, and I think a lot of people have they share those concerns. That is there enough meat on the bones? Is there enough play for $30?
Because, like that move and that shift in thinking and that kind of looking at the ethics of microtransactions and being like, we're not okay with this anymore, is huge. That's fantastic. That's exactly what more places need to do to make games good again. But yeah, it's just that particular game. It has nothing to do with like I support every thought behind it, but yeah, my thing is like Cuphead is $20. Cuphead is $20 in like 6 years in development, and Clicker Heroes 2 $30.
No, I get it. I totally understand.
Yeah, it's just like, it's what else can you buy for $30? I mean, it's the same way I looked at things in reviews at. It's like, yeah, there were great games that were for $20, but then it's like, 20, what else can you get for $20?
Yeah.
Cuphead.
And we've talked about this too, like the fact that literally every week we get sales where you can buy 4 games for $3. The market is so saturated, and even Clicker Heroes 2, if and when, I'm sure it will. It hasn't been announced for Xbox One yet, but I'm sure it will come. If and when it comes to Xbox One, it'll be $30 at first. And then, of course, if you wait 2 months, it'll be $15, it's so tough, but I am not only as a fan of the game, I want to support the developers, but of course, doing this, I want to support them as well. And again, I understand like if people have an issue with that, $30 is a lot to ask. It is a big chunk of change. It's
just like for that game again, like $30 for a game is fine. $30 for I just can't imagine without completely redoing everything about that game how you could possibly justify $30 for Clicker Heroes 2.
I will say
it's not something that I can like comprehend in my mind. Now try and change my mind if you think otherwise.
No, I will just say the thing that I will say is that according to TA, I have played Clicker Heroes for 195 hours. Granted, the nature of the game and how I play it is a good chunk, half of it at least, if not more, has been idle. But that is the game. But I like it. I like the experience. I like the game. It doesn't have to live up to a certain standard. It's not like I have to be doing this thing. I like the Clicker Heroes experience for what it already is. I like the sort of time management and resource management, how it kind of already works. So I'm into. I'm already bought in. I just think it would. I think it would be in people's best interest, at least if you're interested in the game, to support that move that they've shifted from. And to be fair, Clicker Heroes 1 had microtransactions. Was not one of those games that like pushes it in your face all the time that you even really need to do microtransactions. They were already pretty tame about it. So, maybe it's not your cup of tea, like Randy's saying here, maybe, and I get that. But if it is your thing and you really enjoy it, you can wait for a sale or whatever. But I think I'm going to be a day one adopter just to kind of support this move and to support the developer, because I think they're in a tough situation and they made a tough decision. Who knows? Here.
Yeah, and I will clarify too. Although I disagree with the price, I do truly hope that they succeed with this movement because, like you said, that is not an easy decision to make, especially right now when the money is just, it's crazy. There's tons and tons and tons of money in microtransactions and whatever 2K calls it, recurring interactions or whatever they call,
nice.
that corporate speak. And that's huge. And especially a game as big as Clicker Heroes. That's a big game to say we're going to take them away and make it paid.
Yeah, and this reminds me too of a conversation I was just having with someone and an article that they pointed me towards. Animal Crossing Wild Camp or Camp Zone or what, I can't remember, but
the mobile one,
which just released this past week. Which kind of moves into a different topic here, but just released this week, and I've been playing it. Very microtransaction heavy. So we now have 3 Nintendo mobile games, and Pokemon Go, Animal Crossing, and Mario. Now, Pokemon Go and Animal Crossing are both free to play, very microtransaction heavy, and Mario came out at $10 for I haven't played it yet, but by what I understand is a very substantial, a decent game, a really good mobile game. And I mean, both Animal Crossing and Pokemon Go have blown the Mario game out of the water as far as downloads and stuff like that goes. So I guess my point is,
well, I guess downloads for a free game.
So that's true. That's true. Water. Or I mean, even the revenue. I guess I should say revenue
is revenue or profit. Right.
Yeah. So I guess what I'm saying is that we're kind of in the midst of this, down with microtransactions model, but gamers have to be willing to put their money where their mouth is, and you have to be willing to support these games that are eschewing that model. If you really want to see the industry move in that direction, it's going to cost you a little bit more. You're actually going to lose money on that, but if that's where you want to go, that's
for now.
Yeah, for now, for sure. Right.
For now.
Yeah.
And for more money, for that money you're going to lose, you're going to see your quality come back.
Yeah.
Your quality of games that aren't diluted with things behind a paywall because they can. And and I say this all the time. I don't think it's going to happen. As much as I want to see that happen, I don't think it's going to, because at least in my experience, gamers are notorious for not voting with their wallet.
Yeah.
You'll cry and kick and scream forever, but you still buy it in the end. And then all your crying and kicking and screaming doesn't matter because they still got your $60. They still got your $80 for your season pass or whatever. They still got your money. They don't care. They don't care if you harass them on Twitter or rate their game 1 star on Metacritic. They still got your money.
I saw there was an article, and I'm going to get too deep into this, but there was an article about EA's stock, which whatever, went down, but didn't really go down because whatever. Anyways, their response to it was very interesting. Or I don't know if it was their response specifically to it, but they said that they have made oodles and oodles of money with FIFA and Madden and all sorts. Like they have made so much more money on these microtransactions in these games that the Battlefront thing really hasn't as of yet phased them. And it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see if this is going to be the thing that pushes back for that sort of stuff. And I'm sure we'll be talking about it because it seems to be all over everybody's mind at this point.
Yeah, I'm just looking at their, over the last month, they dropped less than 5%.
Yeah.
Which is not really significant.
Yeah. I know a lot of people kind of saw the initial drop and were like, look, we did all that. And then it turned out to be less significant than was.
Yeah. I mean, they dropped a little bit, but
yeah.
I mean, not enough to make any real dent in anything.
Especially when you have a bajillion dollars already.
Yeah.
So.
When your market cap is $32.7 billion at its current price, probably not too worried about it.
Yeah, so that is the news. One other thing I wanted to bring up in the news section was the the 12 Days of Christmas challenge that TA is. It's officially, as of today, as of recording, the first challenge, the 12 Days of Christmas, has been revealed, which is, did you sign up for this at all or no?
No, I didn't.
Oh, you should have. But challenge 1.
I never sign up for everything because I got my own things I'm working on.
I know. Like Cuphead.
Yep.
So challenge 1 is going to be 1 game completion. This is interesting because up until this point, they've kind of teased, hey, what is this whole thing? We weren't really exactly sure what kind of challenges they're going to be, but this is kind of setting a tone. One game completion, that's pretty simple. And you have until the end of the month to do it. I signed up. I plan on kind of pursuing that. I'd like to get all 12 done. Depends on how hard these get, but I'm excited about that. That's fun. It's another for fun contest that you can just go for while you're doing all your other gaming.
Yeah, I didn't really. If I realized it was the whole month, I might have given it a shot.
Yeah, I actually don't know if I'm not familiar if they closed down registration, but I imagine you probably could still sign up. Like I said, it's not a head-to-head competition, so there's no sort of.
Yeah, we'll see.
15 hours until challenge 2 is revealed. Cool stuff. Okay, let's move on to some feedback. So for feedback, Miserly Pluto asks us, who is the best voice character in video games? He says he thinks Mike Patton voicing the Darkness is hard to beat, but he wants to hear what we think. So, Randy, who voices Cuphead Red and Cuphead Blue? I have no idea what their names are, but I just know one's red and one's blue.
Cuphead and Mugman.
Oh, okay.
And Mugman, okay. Not Mugman.
It's a Steamboat Willie kind of thing, right? So there's no voices in that game, I assume.
They don't talk, but some other people do.
Oh, okay.
Kind of. I mean, there's like a narrator voice that says, good day for a swell battle at the beginning of a fight and other things like that. I'm trying to think what other voices are there. There's kind of like, they have like one of the bosses has like, he doesn't talk, but he like makes laughing noises.
Yeah, well, this doesn't have to be a Cuphead thing, but
Cuphead is probably not going to win that one.
What do you think? Anything stick out to you in your mind for voice acting?
What comes to mind first is like BioShock, like Andrew Ryan.
Oh, okay.
Always sticks in my head as like a great character that was voiced really well. I'm just kind of looking through my list because I'm sure there's must be others.
Yeah,
because we were just talking about voice acting and how important it was.
So the first thing that pops in my head is Male Shep and Fem Shep from Mass Effect. And I know a lot of people have one preference or the other, but I think both of those actors, I would argue that most of the cast in all of the Mass Effect games are phenomenally well done. By the way, there are plenty of Star Trek actor references in Mass Effect. Lots of those people have played on the show before. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. But yeah, Mass Effect is probably what pops up first in my mind for voice acting in games. Really good stuff. Really solid stuff. Did you come up with anything?
I'm also thinking, I don't know if it's like good voice acting. It's very iconic is Frank West in Dead Rising also.
Oh, really? I didn't even know what his voice sounds like.
Well, they changed his voice to not Frank in Dead Rising 4. Not Frank is also 20 years older and looks 10 years younger.
Well, you just brought up BioShock, and I was trying to think. I'm like, well, Booker has a voice in Infinite, but the main character Jack does not have. In the first BioShock has no voice, so.
Yeah, I don't think he says anything.
No. Even in the second, even in BioShock 2, there's no voice acting from the main character.
No, because you can't talk. You're a big daddy.
Right. So all you do is that kind of. That's
now, okay, I came across another one is like all of the voice acting in Red Dead Redemption.
Oh, good. Oh, well, yeah, I think any Rockstar game, I would probably argue good stuff, right?
I don't know. I don't know. I really like Andrew Ryan as like just just everything about his character, basically. But like Red Dead, I think especially was good just because it was so like it just felt right for that era. Like all the voice acting, all the way people talked was very, very good.
Yeah, Red Dead does
like Red Dead, like in GTAs of course are always good, but Red Dead in particular just felt really. It just went along with what made Red Dead so special was that they really nailed that atmosphere, and that really went with the voice acting, where the voice acting in GTA is more just kind of, it's good, but it's not really special. Like, it's
interesting. Well, cousin, let's go bowling. No, maybe not so much.
My cousin. No. I did like Little Jacob.
Was that from 4? Because I don't remember.
That was from 4. Yeah,
Little Jacob specifically, but
I think his name is Little Jacob. This super Jamaican guy.
Oh, okay.
Because like, I remember the first time I listened to him talking, and I was like, "How does anybody talk like that?" And it's like now, I've heard people that talk like that, and it's like spot on. So they nailed that. We can't forget Duck Dynasty.
Oh,
I mean, the Robertson family voicing themselves reading from a script is really, really good.
We should talk about the worst voice acting sometime in the future. Somebody write in and ask us about that for a future show, because that would be its own topic. But I actually think you're right about Red Dead. The thing is, like you're saying, they nailed the atmosphere, is that Rockstar is so good at like, it's like almost approaching satire or parody, but it doesn't quite get there. So like you take it seriously, like the Red Dead stuff, like it's all this old Western stuff, and they kind of poke fun at the stereotypes and stuff, but all these characters are still pretty grounded. Don't. Yeah, and they're really good at striking that balance. So
it's like they use the stereotypes to enhance the setting.
Yeah. So and of course John Marston, like I don't even know who the voice actor.
Super good. Really good.
That was a great pick there. I mean, I'm sure there are a zillion others, but I can't think of any off the top of my head.
Yeah, because like I want to pick. Comstock from BioShock Infinite was also very good, but that was more the character than the voice acting. Like I feel like they really nailed that character, but it wasn't specifically because of the voice or the way he talked. It was a lot of other things that contributed to that.
Yeah. Have you played The Darkness? Because I'm not sure of his reference here with Mike.
I have. Kind of. I mean, I used to rip on The Darkness all the time. Then I played it again, and it's not as bad as I remember it being. But I haven't really. I started over, and I was paying attention to the story. Then I got distracted with another game. So I'm just trying to think of what The Darkness sounds like. A lot of people really like that game. But I don't know. I mean, it's not bad.
I would.
I just can't. That voice doesn't. I know what the voice is, but it just doesn't really stick in my head. Like what is kind of unique about it?
I would put John DiMaggio. I think it's John DiMaggio who also voiced Bender the Robot from Futurama as Marcus from specifically Gears of War 4. Obviously, he played the character in all the other Gears games, but he plays curmudgeonly old man. Angry Marcus in Gears of War 4, and every time he gets mad and yells, it cracks me up. So, it's so over the top and so angry.
I feel like I need to watch this because Gears of War is already super ridiculous to begin with. I mean, I call it Bros of War because that's what it seems like. It's just like it's so goofy and dumb, and that sounds amazing. I didn't know that's who voiced Marcus.
Yes, and in fact, if you listen to he also plays. Is it Finn? I've never seen the show Adventure Time.
Yeah, but I think it's Finn. Because Finn, you hear him. Marcus, I don't.
Yeah, it's
or not Finn. He's Jake the dog.
Jake or Finn. Yeah, I knew it was one of those two. Pretty famous. By the way, if you're interested in voice acting and I think it's Hey, I Know That Voice or something close to that, and I'm pretty sure it's on Netflix. Really interesting documentary about voice acting. Check it out. It's really good stuff. And you're going to see, 5, 6, 7, 10 of your favorite characters from your childhood played by the same voice actor, and it's really amazing. It's a really cool, interesting story behind all these people that you've heard all your life and you've never seen their faces. So check that out. That's a really
Okay, I've got one more that we completely forgot.
All right, I'm ready for it.
Carrington.
Yeah, I don't think many people.
Carrington from Perfect Dark Zero.
Many people are going to get that joke.
We can't see him.
Carrington is
nobody's going to get that joke.
Yeah,
but I feel like it was obligatory.
Yeah, that's funny. No, Carrington is it's literally basically a parody of a Scottish accent. It's somebody trying to.
It really is
over the top.
Except it's not trying to be a parody. I don't.
No.
Think. No. Like it's brutal.
I'm sure I've played games that have really fantastic voice acting. That it's one of those things you can really underappreciate, and I'd love to hear people's thoughts and what they think of when they think of good voice acting in video games. I'm sure there's a ton. We didn't even mention Nolan North, who is in every other video game that you play. Lots of good stuff.
I think I know who that is. Who's in, especially around like 2008 to 2010. He was in like every single video game in existence.
His
if it's the right person.
Yeah, his claim to fame, I think, would be Nathan Drake. He plays Nathan Drake's voice from the Uncharted series, but he's
Uncharted. I haven't played any.
Me either. But he's been in He was the main character in Deadpool. There's literally I think it was in Saints Row 4. There's an actual Nolan North voice option. You can actually pick him as a voice.
Yeah, because I think he did someone in Red Faction as well.
Yeah, he for a good chunk of time, like you were mentioning, he was everywhere. He's definitely seemed to have been toned down,
but it was like he was in everything. I mean, he's not like he was good, but he's not like. It's not like that one crazy good performance that you remember forever.
Right.
Like, good choice, but not always.
Yeah,
the top of the top.
So let us know. Let us know what you guys think.
Yeah, what do you guys think?
I'm curious
because I'm sure we're forgetting something really obvious.
Philip Wendell asked us, "What did you guys pick up on Black Friday / Cyber Monday / super discounted Saturday / slightly discounted whatever? Did you pick up any sales?
Anything on the last 3 weeks of November
post Thanksgiving sale days? Did you pick up anything?
Well, but now it's like a week and a half before Thanksgiving sale days as well. It's getting ridiculous.
It's pretty wild. But what did you get anything for? Did you pick up any good sales or anything?
I did. I did get Army Krog like I thought I was going to. I got one other digital game that I've forgotten now, but the big ones that I got. So Wolfenstein 2 was half off, $30 shipped. So I couldn't pass that up. I mean, I'll be playing that game soon. I'm sure it's going to be good.
I beat you.
The first one was so good.
I got Wolfenstein 2 for $25.
From where?
I think it was Amazon, and I think it was Monday. I think.
Oh, did they do an extra special cyber? That's frustrating. Because I bet that was because all the games were the same prices everywhere.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I looked at 4 different places and I bought it from the one that I like to buy from more than the others because they were all the same price.
Yeah, the only game I bought was Wolfenstein 2, and it was, I believe, on Monday for $25. So yeah.
I should have waited.
Yeah.
I also got Prey for $20. I got over my dislike of the reuse of the name for a largely different game. However, I did learn that there is some connection to the two because they are both spiritual successors of System Shock.
Wait a minute. So System Shock is a game.
Yeah.
At some point,
came out in 94, I think. At
some point, BioShock comes out. And then at some point, Prey comes out.
Also a spiritual successor of System Shock.
So did the development company split, or because obviously Ken Levine came out with System Shock.
System Shock is messy. So Ken Levine worked on System Shock 2.
Okay.
System Shock 2 is really the one, to my knowledge, that kind of spawned more of the successors. System Shock 1 is really old. Like I think I've said this before, but it does not have mouse look. You have to drag a slider up and down to look around. It's kind of like a hybrid of a first-person shooter and a point-and-click. super weird, really awkward to play. It's aged for what it is pretty well, but it's brutal. Like, it's clunky. It's old. There is a newer version that does have mouse look. It has toggle mouse look. So you toggle between mouse look and point and click. It's really weird. And System Shock 2 came out in 99, and it is much more like a traditional first-person shooter. You know, it's both of them are very story-driven, like BioShock, kind of the same thing, like scrounge around, look for stuff, kind of learn what happened to the people here through audio logs, just that kind of stuff. So Ken Levine worked on System Shock 2. I don't think he worked on System Shock 1, but he may have. Then Looking Glass Studios went bankrupt or something, and EA owned half the rights, and some insurance company owned the other half or something. So System Shock went into limbo for a long time. So then Ken Levine went on to work on BioShock with Irrational, which was a new company. And that's a spiritual successor to System Shock.
Sure, gotcha.
To, I think, I don't know, System Shock as a series, where it kind of has a lot of the same atmosphere with a different setting.
Yeah.
Because System Shock's in space, BioShock's underwater, Prey's kind of in space, I think.
What else is in space?
Prey, I think it's that dangerous game.
Dead horses. Dead horses are in space.
Dead horses are in space. That's right. See, this is unrelated to that dead horse, though.
That's true.
It actually is in space.
That's true. So you picked up Prey.
Yeah,
What
I guess both Preys are in space, and I actually didn't plan. So the two games on my list were Wolfenstein 2 and Prey. I looked at South Park and I was like, $30, and I still haven't played the first one.
Oh,
probably wait. Probably gonna wait on South Park. And so I passed up on South Park, but I did see that Deus Ex Mankind Divided was $10.
Oh, $10. Nice. Okay.
$10. And it's like, okay, I haven't played the first one yet either, but $10, it's not going to get, if it does, it's not enough to be a big deal if it gets cheaper for $10. And I had actually, that's the other thing about was the Deus Ex season pass for like $3.
Ooh, I wish I had known that. I would have bought that. Damn.
Yeah, so I got that and the game. So yeah, I saw it for $10. I couldn't pass it up. So those are my 3 Black Friday purchases. I think I spent $59 on physical because I don't remember what I spent on digital.
Good.
Not very much.
Oh, yeah, we already talked about the digital Xbox sales last week, so we don't have to revisit that. That's okay.
Yeah, those were on for. I thought I actually missed one of them, but they ran longer than I thought they did, so that was good. I almost missed Army Krog.
All right, well, moving on, Cowboy Killer asks, what is the crew's thoughts on Bungie throttling XP and EA's UFC 3 coming out with more non-cosmetic loot boxes? Now, Randy, I don't want to speak for you specifically, but I imagine both of us are a little ignorant on these two subjects.
Well, I mean, I think we have enough information for the second point, but the first point I am a little ignorant on as well.
I will say I have friends that still play Destiny 2, and I've read some stuff about how people are pretty unhappy about it. I got to be honest.
So what's the gist of what's going on then?
Basically, it's Bungie being Bungie at this point. Well, new Bungie being new Bungie at this point, where they're not very, from what I understand, they're not being very clear. They changed, I believe, some sort of XP modifier where people they couldn't understand how the XP system was working, and Bungie seemed to tweak it to their advantage in some way. Again, I'm very ignorant of this.
Bungie's advantage?
To Bungie's advantage, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. And people aren't happy because the way that the game was working before, for whatever reason, was preferable. I'm not exactly sure. Again,
and now, is there some motivation for them to tweak that to get more money?
Yeah, I think that was the case. I think that was the issue.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe that. Was
that, and given the context of the question, that kind of sounds like the case.
Yeah. I
guess we could look this up.
We could.
We're kind of talking about nothing right now.
We could, but I'm more happy wallowing in my hatred of current day Bungie and my nostalgia of Bungie long past to really care that much. Not, I kid, but throttling XP.
I mean, this can make you hate them even more.
It's true. This just seems to be, both of these questions, and I'm sorry, Cowboy Killer, if we're not giving you the proper, respect here for this question, but honestly, I don't know a lot about what the situation on either of these situations are, but it does seem to be the kind of par for the course for the industry at this point, right? We obviously just talked about this stuff, and this just seems to be the way things are going at this point.
Yep. And I mean, and then the paid advantages in UFC 3, I mean, that just seems like what we're going to expect. I mean, all the other sports games have it.
Yeah.
Why not this? I mean, now they're trying to get it into non-sports games. So
yeah, we know EA will have learned their lesson when they pull it from these other games, when they're not doing this sort of stuff.
Yeah. So, I mean, we know what my thoughts are on microtransactions. So, yeah, I am very not for it.
Yeah. Sorry, Cowboy Killer. I know that was probably not very satisfactory.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I should have specified Fream is not going to be here this week to explain Destiny to us.
Yeah. Although, I talked to my friend who plays the game. He's not like, he doesn't play it every night or anything like that, but he plays it pretty semi-regularly. And I asked him, I'm like, I hear a lot of people aren't happy with Bungie and Destiny 2. And he says, I'm not as into Destiny 2 as I was into Destiny 1. So I'm not super familiar with what's going on. So, take that for what it's worth. That's super anecdotal, I know, but maybe it doesn't affect that. Maybe it only affects the high level players. We'll have to ask. We'll ask Fream next week.
Yeah, maybe we'll revisit this next week when Fream is here, and we can get a better answer.
Cool. So finally, the last bit of feedback here before we close out. Rocker Dude asks, all the hosts are stranded on a desert island. The time has come. Everyone is hungry. Which host do you eat first? Now, my first thought is, I haven't worked out, I don't know, in about ever. So, I know Fream goes to the gym all the time. Wouldn't he be filled with protein?
I was thinking that too.
Yeah.
Because I'm in the same boat. I think Fream would be the best meal.
Yeah, the most nutritious. You could save bits of him for later on, and it's got to be Fream, right?
You don't have to trim him much. If he's lean, just cook him up. Good to go.
All right. Sorry, Fream. You're done.
It's a unanimous decision. Fream's getting eaten first.
Yeah. Yeah. Otherwise, I don't. Yeah, that seems to be the most advantageous. So, Randy, what are you going to do for the next week or so? You're going to clean up Cuphead and Agents of Mayhem? Do you have anything else you need to do, or what?
I don't know. We'll see, because I want to get my contracts done on Agents of Mayhem. I kind of want to just get through Agents of Mayhem because it's pretty easy, and then it's done. I don't have to relearn it later. But at the same time, Cuphead, I already know the patterns, so it'll probably be a combination of both. I think those will be my two games for a while. I just after just saying I need to finish Killer Instinct, but these two games got me. Well, Cuphead has got me hooked for sure. But yeah, I think that's going to be the bulk of my next week.
Cool. I'm going to be, working on random to-do list stuff, I think, mostly. Other than my...
we're going to play some Saints Row.
Oh, yeah. So I actually have a Saints Row 1. I actually have a Saints Row 1 and a Saints Row 2 achievement on my random to-do list.
What's your Saints Row 2 achievement?
If you give me half a second, I will tell you. I have to complete all races. So I assume that's
can't help you with that. That's single player only.
I also have a Crackdown 2 achievement. You want to help me with that?
Nope.
I didn't think.
Nope.
I didn't think you would. Oh, I do have a syndicate achievement as well on my random to-do list. But I
Single player or multiplayer?
I assume it's single player. I have to defeat some boss without restocking ammunition.
Well, what do the flags say? Is it online, offline, or offline?
It is offline.
Okay.
Yep.
You're on your own for that. I did run you through that game.
You did.
Right?
You did. Yep. Yeah. You gave me. You said you gave me all the online achievements. So no worries on that one. I'm going to be doing a lot of random to-do lists this week. Hopefully finishing up some of the stupid CSI games and stuff.
But yeah, well, we get to revisit my favorite multiplayer game on the Xbox 360, Saints Row.
Saints Row.
I haven't played it in so long, and I'm actually really excited to go play it again.
Oh, cool.
I mean, we're not really going to be playing it, but just to be in multiplayer again, it'll be fun.
Nice.
We'll get you some goodies.
Sounds good to me. All right, folks. Well, thanks for sticking with us. Obviously, you're going to hear some more voices coming up here with Reviews Ed and...
Oh, we got Knobs and Discos.
Oh, sorry. That's right. Go ahead. You go ahead and...
It's another bad week.
Oh, no. Well, we know Marvel, right?
That
counts.
Good and bad. So, we mentioned Marvel. God of Light Remastered has one fixed achievement. The God of Light achievement for gaining all the achievements was fixed. Warhammer End Times Vermintide, we mentioned that one a few weeks ago, and it is fixed now. ABC News, another app, just one discontinued achievement, actually, not the whole thing. So I guess you tweeted a video with a friend, so I assume it no longer integrates with Twitter. Paladin has a new unobtainable achievement, the investment portfolio achievement. True Achievements, the app, has 3 discontinued achievements.
Come on. I mean, look at the irony in that, guys.
I know. See, I wonder if they can't fix it, because if they update it, they'll make them update it to an app without achievements.
Oh.
I don't know.
Interesting.
I don't know
Okay.
for sure,
Mm-hmm.
but I suspect that support for the old apps has been completely discontinued. Now, they might be able to change it server side. So we'll see. Now that it got discontinued flags, we'll see if they if they get it fixed. Rugby 18 has 5 unobtainable achievements, so avoid that one, I guess. And Killer Instinct. Now, I mentioned it had 28 discontinued achievements a couple weeks ago. All 28 of them have been fixed.
Okay, good. I should just go do them, though. I should really just get them done.
Yes, you should. You need to own all the characters, though.
That's fine.
You can also buy the disc. The definitive edition disc will get you everything.
I should do that, actually.
Yeah. It's $40 full price. You should have got it on Black Friday. It was like $20.
If I bought the definitive... So I own all the different pieces of Killer Instinct that have gone free and Games with Gold and all that, right?
It's still cheaper to buy the definitive.
Oh, no, but I'm curious, so say I own season 1 and 2. I think that was Games with Gold.
Yeah, those are the free ones.
So say I owned them, and then I had the disc, and I put it in it and installed it, and then I removed the disc. Is it smart enough to know that I don't...
Yeah.
Oh, damn, okay.
You'll be able to play it with your season 1 and 2, but if you want to play anything from season 3 and the extras, you'll need the disc.
Man,
I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know for sure, but I suspect that's how it'll work.
Right. That's fair.
Yeah. So that is it for Knobs and Discos.
So now we will move on to a couple other voices, maybe some roundup, maybe some. Actually, a couple other voices.
We got you on. Reviews
I will be doing reviews
right?
this week.
What are we playing?
Oh, that is a fantastic question that I will tell you right about.
Z to Z Podcast presents Review Z.
Alrighty, welcome to another Z to Z Presents Review Z. This week I have with me Proulx.
Hello. A little different this week. Huh? I'm dropping in to cover for Spaz while he's out.
Yeah, he I guess decided that Disney was more interesting than doing a review episode with us. I can't really fault him, I suppose.
Well, at least in this case, maybe.
Well, true. This week we reviewed Blast Brawl 2 Bloody Boogaloo. Quite the alliteration in that name there. Produced and developed by Mind's Eye Games. This is actually a blast from the past. This was released October 26th, 2016. So over a year ago. It is on TA listed as a 1 to 2 hour completion of the action genre. Although I completely agree this is action, it is nowhere near a 1 to 2 hour completion.
Oh, God, not even close. So we were just talking about this before we started recording, and so basically the achievements for this game are real straightforward. Basically, unlock every character and get to wave 10 with each character. Now, there's a few miscellaneous achievements, but they don't really matter. What is important to note here is that you don't get to wave 10 with each character. You have to get to wave 10 on each level with each character, which significantly increases both the time and skill required to do these achievements.
And not just that, you also have to do it solo.
Oh, solo. Yes, that's right. Because this is, I haven't played it multiplayer, but this is apparently a co-op game, and it may make it easier. I'm not sure if have you played the co-op at all?
Other than plugging in 4 controllers for an achievement? No.
Yeah. That's one of the miscellaneous achievements. So you can play this game co-op, but I assume maybe more enemies show up. I'm not sure exactly how that would increase the difficulty.
If there's more enemies on screen, it's going to be mayhem. Even with just an extra 3 people on screen, it would be mayhem.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's like, let's try to, I kind of got a little bit of Smash vibe from the game. It's 2D brawler type sort of thing. And it's based in this arena. So there's like 5 levels. You're just put in this zone, and it's horde mode. You fight wave and wave and waves of enemies, and there are like 7 or 8 different character classes, which actually are really varied in their play styles. And then you just kind of have to try to survive as long as you can, really.
And you will have, it's very luck based in the sense of every level is randomized what enemies you have to face. Some you will notice are much easier to defeat than others, and some require like specific strategies. Like we were talking earlier, like the Vanguard class, he seems to be the most defensible out there. He's got this massive shield, and he pretty much always faces you. So you've got to find a way to somehow break his guard and attack. I had the best luck with the ninja class because you can become invisible and you can kind of get behind them and attack them. Other than that, try to remember that you can attack up, down, and diagonally, which sometimes comes in handy. It's definitely a fun game, and it's incredibly repetitive because you literally have to do this with every single character class. And although I've tried the other levels, they're pretty much the same. It's just different stuff to jump on.
Yeah, there's no meat to the game. Like the game is you jump into this A level with whatever character you pick, and you just survive as long as possible. And like you say, one of the levels it's a little bit darker. One of the levels you can freeze occasionally, but really minor differences between the levels. The biggest difference in gameplay that you're going to experience is between the characters. And I do feel like the characters are varied and interesting enough to try each class. The problem is I don't think it's balanced enough that each class is viable to like really go the distance. Like I said, the ninja was a good class I had a good experience with. I also had a really positive experience with the sniper class, but it's all over. If you pick this X class and Y class shows up twice in a row, and that's the one that you're bad at, it can end your good run in 30 seconds. And it just doesn't feel very well balanced in regard. So it's more frustrating than rewarding overall, I think. I think that if there was a better balance to the game, it's tough. It's tough to get there, but I think that it would be that would help the game overall.
Oh, agreed. It's not that it's a bad thing, because it does have that I got to do this again feel to it. I mean, I just played it for almost an hour straight, and I didn't have any desire to put it down. I had to no, I'm going to get it this time. No, I'm going to get it this time. You just kind of, it still at least has that vibe to it, But you're right. It's some of the classes are just much more difficult than others. The warrior class, for instance, has a very, very slow attack. So that unless you're really good at learning the timing of it, you're leaving yourself open for too long. The ninja has got a really quick attack, which helps you try to sneak in and out of things, situations where otherwise you might die. It's going to come down to your personal play style as to whether you're going to be able to perform well in this game. If nothing else, it's definitely good for a few laughs. If you got friends over while you're just getting mindlessly slaughtered by the AI, I'm sure that they'll poke fun at you. It's not bad. I mean, I guess it comes down to, do you like the style of game? It is a very repetitive, grindy brawler. It's also $15 on the market.
Yeah,
that is probably going to steer some people away. That's probably why it's only got 135 tracked gamers right now, and it's been out for over a year. If this ever goes on sale, I would definitely say grab it, because it's certainly good fun, and I'm sure it's a lot better in co-op. At least for enjoyability factor. The achievements, you need to be solo for the tough ones. But yeah, definitely, I'd say give it a shot, and if it's on sale, give it a purchase. It's I like this.
Yeah, I definitely think it's worth $5. I enjoyed it. There's the presentation, the music I really, really liked. Again, I think there's some gameplay tweaks and balances that could be addressed to make it more approachable. But if it wasn't $15, I would say, hey, if you're really into these hardcore 2D sort of action games, this would be a really, really good one, because it seems to pretty well thought out and well done enough that you could get good enough with these characters. To me, it's just, I'm hitting that frustration way too early. Like, I'll go 2 runs with a new character and that's it. I'm just like, okay, I don't get it. I
almost think playing in versus mode, like playing with your friends, getting a feel for it before you jumped into the solo, might be a wise choice. But again, if you're playing solo by yourself, there's no AI to battle against. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's, again, not a bad game by any means, but steer clear if you're not great at these games and you want the completion. Probably not a great game for it, because this is, I'm already dreading in the future getting a random to do list achievement for one of these. Yeah, for one of these classes, to get all the clears on. Oh God, that's going to be tough, and we'll see what happens.
There's a little bit of frosting on this cake. Thankfully, there's a title update that's already come out. Frosting, haha! It's called the Frost Update. They added a new character, so not only do you have a couple already difficult propositions ahead of you, you have a Rocketeer who's actually kind of cool. I do like him.
I did like him too. He was, I kind of like all of the characters. I don't think they're all very effective, but they all have this, they feel varied enough that nobody feels copied from someone else. They all have their own flavor of gameplay. And maybe part of the issue is, like, I'm just not great at these games. I'm not sure, but it just, I hit that wall way too fast of like, okay, I'm not going to be able to do this. Like, I may get the perfect run if I play this 20 times over, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just not going to play the game 20 times in a row to get that. Some people may enjoy that. And if that's your bag, this is the perfect game for you, because it feels like you'll get a lot of satisfaction out of that.
I guess also one thing to note is that, yes, you have to do 10 waves with somebody. You can do all 10 waves in the span of, I'm going to guess, maybe like 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how quick you are at killing. So it's not like you're investing a huge amount of time into a run. That's why I'm saying, like, I have that, I'm going to do this next time feeling. I don't feel like I've wasted a whole amount of time and just to get killed by some crazy random, it was that guy at the end. Although almost every single run has me yelling that, like, no, not him.
There's almost nobody good that you can run into. Again, it's really class dependent, because some people are like, oh, that guy, but generally speaking, it's like, oh God, it's the shield dude. Or whatever, and then you have to handle
the pirate. Like I say, that guy has an attack that apparently gets you drunk and makes your left become right. And if you really don't notice the fact that he hit you with that little bottle thing, you're dead.
And by the way, when you're playing as the pirate, because you get these boss spawns of the other characters when you're playing single player, and so you can play as most of them. When you are actually playing as a pirate and you're trying to make other people drunk, you throw the bottle, and a lot of times it bounces off the wall and gets you drunk anyways. That never happens for the CPU player. But it happens to you.
It'd be awesome if they got
constantly.
themselves drunk in the game.
Yeah,
Make it so much easier.
because you don't. Once you throw it, it just bounces around. You don't control it. So
Wow, these guys have like perfect aim, and it hits me every time.
yeah, every time. Yeah. So again, the balancing, I think, could you honestly, if they just kind of hit that, you know, I hit wave 10 on the easy level fairly quickly, but there are like 4 other levels with increasing difficulty, with increasing you know, the characters that you're going to face are a little bit harder each time, and it took me a chunk to hit that first one. Like it's not an easy game, I guess is all I'd say.
No, but basically, I guess that's a recommendation. Give it a shot if you find it on sale, or if battle brawling is your thing. Otherwise, yeah, it's gonna be a long completion, much more than the 1 to 2 hours they are making us.
Oh
think.
yeah, yep, absolutely.
All right. Well, I guess with that, back to the main show.
All right, guys, it's time for another contest roundup to finish out the show. I told you to be back, and I have my game mashup ready to go. If you're not familiar with the game mashup, it is just like the Wheel of Fortune game where you take one phrase and use the middle connecting word to join the 2 phrases together. So I'll let you know of last week's example as an example of what this works. So week 2 was the Ultimate Turf War. East Side of the Galaxy versus West Side of the Galaxy, featuring Kanye's Massive Empire and rebels like Lil Wayne. The answer to that was Def Jam Rap Star Wars Battlefront, right? Def Jam Rap Star Wars Battlefront, mash them together, Def Jam Rap Star Wars Battlefront. So this week, week number 3, the clue is the unholy merger of these third entries in the series would reunite the company that started the movement with the company that bought up a publisher just to get in on the action. I believe the lawsuits are all settled out by now, so perhaps it's time to reach across the highway and hammer down on a cooperative jam. So there you go. If you guys know the answer, send it to my private Discord. You can let me know what you guys think that one is. As far as the rest of the contest roundup, well, we have some really fun stuff going on in the community, specifically the True Achievements community right now, because we are wrapping up 2 of the biggest long-standing contests. Of course, the GTASC, the Great True Achievement Score Challenge, we are done as of Monday, Sunday, I guess, December 10th. This is it. The last 5 teams still in there. The teams that are left is this team UHH, the Gods Reborn, Gankers Preloaded, Vicious and Delicious, and English Warriors. Those are your 5 teams vying for the top spot in the GTASC. As far as the individuals, well, we have 10 individuals left, and alphabetically listed, we have Bemused Box, Cyberbur, Death is Land, Jimbot UK, JJB Dude 48, Redemption Denied, Sniped by a Girl, Weredog 51, Yinga Garten, and Zilexi. So, yikes, there we go. That's it. We've got the top 10. It is down to them. Congratulations to Redemption Denied, friend of the show, to getting in the top 10. He is a preload master, so let's see if he can close out a back-to-back win on that one. We're also going to finish up the UHH, the Ultimate Head-to-Head Challenge. I guess it's week 10, technically. As far as eliminations for the final 4, well, our beloved Chin Doctor fell to Jam Pound 14 to 20. Jam Pound ripped through his 20 real quick. And then the other matchup, Matthias Anderson beats Christoph 57-82 in a just absolute monster of a list, 20 to 19. Congrats on finishing that one. So here it is. The championship is set with Matthias Anderson versus Jam Pound 32. By the time this comes out, I mean, like, they are well into it. This is a bloodbath here. So we'll see. You'll know by Monday who the winner is, but we'll announce it for this show next Wednesday and congratulate them. I do want to do a special congratulations to Chin Doctor for making it to the Final Four. Man, it was so much fun to watch you perform and get as far as you did. So I know it's no condolences to winning, but congrats on your journey. The community matchups last week, I said a whole bunch, but only a couple of people actually did anything, and whether it was on purpose or by accident, I don't know. But we had Kez 001 beating Hot Curls 3088, and that was 1-1. Kez having the tiebreaker on that one, and NBA Kirkland beats Planting 42 5-2. This week, community matchups, if anyone's paying attention, Mark B versus Planting 42, NBA Kirkland versus Mighty Mango, Saucy Slingo versus Koosh Moose, Wheezy Fuzz versus Gambler 6464. The fun one, that Saucy Slingo Koosh Moose, there's actually a Diablo achievement that we are literally going to be working on right now. So I'm be curious who technically gets the timestamp on that one, because in theory, we should unlock it at the same time. So that'd be kind of fun. The last thing for True Achievements is the 12 Days of Christmas contest has just started. It started on December 1st. Challenges are beginning to open. The 1st through the 12th, a new challenge opens every day. And so there'll be 12 challenges in total, and you have to complete the first challenge to move on to the second challenge. You have to complete the second challenge to move on to the third, etc., etc. But you do have all of the month of December to complete all 12 challenges. So when we did this, we were thinking of the 12 Days of Christmas song. I know there's been some discussions about whether or not we're going to make you do. I know some people in the community are doing it, where you double up, right? So challenge number 1 was complete a game, any game. Challenge number 2 is 2 versus achievements, but people in our community are doing 2 versus achievements and completing a game. So yeah, it's pretty nuts. I'm not going to sing the song, but these were all written as limericks, right? My TA gave to me kind of thing. Challenge 3 achievements of a 3.0 ratio or greater. That one's a tough one. Good luck on that one. Challenge 4, spelling the word Noel, Noel, with your achievements, and they have to be in order. So you start with the N, then the O, then the E, then the L. Challenge number 5, you're looking for 5 rare achievements. So you want the diamond on those. And then challenge 6 is comes out when the day this podcast airs. And of course, like I said, there's going to be 12, so we'll recap all of them when this next week's airs. I'm caught up. I've got challenges 1, 2, and 3 done. Number 4 just opened today, so I'll be doing that one. And I've got my achievements listed, so I know what I'm doing. It'll be fun. As far as the Z to Z contests are concerned, well, the random to-do lists are up, and it looks like Elroy's What the L segment, Elroy and Big L, their segment has propelled people to really push the RTDL this month, which is fun. There's a lot of activity, a lot of people unlocking achievements in there, so keep it up. Reminder that this is the last set of achievements for the 4-month leaderboard, so everything gets reset on January 1st. Of course, we're just going to roll over. You're going to get new lists, but we're going to start a new overall leaderboard for that one, so good luck on those. The community challenge for the month is a right jolly old elf, again with the Christmas spirit. This is any game that contains an elf. And if you're curious about what that means, you can head over to our forums, forum.zz.com. There'll be a running list of games that have been approved and games that have been, not so much. So if you're curious about any of those that may be fringe cases, that'd be the place to do it. We've got our gamer tag challenge for the month of December is Miserly Pluto 459. So it's a nice collection of letters there. Good luck on unlocking those. And remember, you need to post those into the forums. Link to your True Achievements page and point out which achievements qualify, because I need to know so I can double check them. And finally, the MOCOS for the end of the year here for December, called Complex Superiority. Fairly straightforward, but complicated. You get a progressively increasing gamer score. So you go for the best chain you can. So, for instance, if you unlock a 5 gamer score, Then the next one is a 10, and then you want to go for a 15. They don't have to be consecutive, but you want to make the longest chain possible, so you can go from like 10 up to 25, up to whatever. But it's important that you unlock them not necessarily in order, but you can only count them in order. So like if it's a 5, then a 10, and then a 5, and a 5, and a 5, and a 20, your chain is 5, 10, 20, right, as it increases. So post those in the forums as well, so MSurin can track those things down. Finally, I want to mention the Fream Holes Completion Challenge for 2017. You can find it in the forums. It is ending soon. There were 30 themes, right? Riddles, if you were. I don't know what you want to call them. But 30 different things that you wanted to work on for different completions, right? So one is any game that contains a zombie, one that's a game that contains magic, one that's a stack. You want to complete the 360 stack and the one stack. There will be a 2018 list, but that is not going to show up until the end of the year. But I want to remind everybody that get your completions in for 2017. As far as Discord goes, that is one of the best places to talk with people in the community. You can come over to my Discord channel, Freamhole. That's my name. There's a permanent link, discord.me/Freamhole. That's the place to go. You can come find us, join up with our boosting sessions, chit chat. It's great. We do have 3 kind of dedicated nights right now. Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare on the 360. You can come find me on Thursday nights. They are doing the 1 version, but they're wrapping up pretty soon. It's almost done there. So you might have to wait until my crew moves on to the 1 version of the original Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare. They're still doing some Halo work. I think they just started up Halo 5, and then the massive Master Chief Collection will be on deck. And then finally, Battleborn is on Wednesday nights. The thing that we talked about previously, where private matches, you can now unlock all your lore challenges. So we can get in a private match of any size and really boost the hell out of some things. So it's going to go a lot smoother. It's still going to be a ton of work, but we can at least control the crowds and work more diligently. So I look forward to that. And with that, I think that's the end of the show, guys. As far as I'm concerned, we may have a couple bits after this. We may have a couple bits before me. Who knows? It's a hodgepodge of audio excellence, right? Yeah, that's what I'm going to call it. If you ever want to find me, though, you can always reach me Twitter at Freamhole, FREAMWHOLE. You can come to my Discord chat, like I mentioned, discord.me/Freamhole. And really, I'm Freamhole everywhere. So trueachievements.com. You can find me on Xbox Live. Send me a friend request, whatever. Play some games with me. It will be great. Look forward to it. And thank you so much for listening to the Z to Z podcast. We really appreciate that. It's been wonderful. So with that, I'm gonna head out, and I will talk to you guys next week. We'll see ya.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to episode 4 of What the Yell with the RTDL. Yay! We definitely got introduced this week, don't you think, Elroy?
Yeah, I'm thinking there's some intro music with the Z to Z presents What the Yell. I think probably something like that if I was to guess.
Well,
I'm Elroy, by the way.
Oh, I'm Big L. I'm feeling pretty punchy tonight. Elroy, tell us about some positionings. Whoa.
Well, I am glad you asked. Well, here's your RTDL update. We're 4 days in, and so this is my update list for you. House Stark is correct. Winter is coming, and so too the RTDL is coming with it. One must be constant vigilance to look after his or hers RTDL list and be prepared as the final RTDL season of the year comes to a close. So, too, marches a new threat to the RTDL community as the reanimated RTDL dead have risen. Those who were left for dead in previous months and who have floated by in obscurity have decided to march south and devour the great RTDLers of recent times. It is RTDL Update Reanimated Corpses Edition. In first place, House NBA Kirkland holds his ground and he is prepared for the onslaught of corpses. After all, his highest ratio achievement comes from Stealth Inc. 2, a Game of Thrones, a game of clones for the achievement of Undead Army. Such preparation will only get him so far, and he should definitely invest in some golden and body armor from Dangerous Golf worth a combined 1,000 points. However, he should be careful. It is dangerous, after all. The new faces will be unrelenting, but his RTDL accuracy evidenced by his Dodge This pop in Goat Simulator, along with his 700-point lead, the zombies are not his problem, and he will let the other houses deal with it.
I did it. Oh my god. Sorry.
I'm just doing my thing here. I'm only one in, and you just killed my flow.
Was I not on mute? I'm sorry, dude.
I need you to be a professional here. Act like you've been there. You need to show some respect for the last 5 minutes of a 3-hour podcast.
I was upset of not being in the top 5 this week, so I just popped an achievement by myself. I'm very proud of myself.
What?
Yeah, by myself. Look. See, it's me.
But it must have been one of them WWE Chivos, wasn't it?
Maybe.
Isn't that like just a bunch of half-naked dudes oiled up, putting their hands all over one another? Okay. In second place, Skeptical. See, you just took me out of my flow.
Skeptical. Mario.
Skeptical. Okay, it's a big word.
Very original gamer.
Mario. Oh yeah, I know Mario. Skeptical Mario has shown what it takes to become an amazing zombie. Dedication.
Dead. I see what you did there.
Yeah. In the few days of the month, he has almost matched his total from last month, and now gets his first mention on this amazing segment. Truly, he has found his motivation from his encouraging pops of About Time in Saints Row 4 and Heating Up in Gun World 2. He hopes to live up to his WWE 2K17 Chivo of
Keep going.
I am the best. And catch House Kirkland. But, like most zombies, he may not have a leg to stand on. In third place, Cowboy Killer 360 has also risen. In November, this once proud house limped in with a 10th place finish. Killers of 30 dozen Westerners don't die, and neither do their demented subconsciousness, as Cowboy takes advantage and puts the 4 in D4 with 4 Chivos on his list from D4 Dark Dreams Don't Die. These pops account for 75% of his total point total, or 3 out of 4 for his 4th month on the RTDL. Fortunately, his foresight was fortuitous, and he is now foreboding to those formulating his fall by force. Forgive me, that was too many 4s, and that should be forbidden. Cowboy Killer plans to continue his jolly undead romp across the land this festive holiday season with potential points from uplifting titles such as State of Decay, Dead Space, and Dark Souls. In fourth place, who else but House Kahuna? Kahuna has been pounding the pavement in Saints Row 4 and has proven to be a superhero in Wolfenstein. But much like the secrets of the Deep Pop and Octodad Deadliest Catch, the secret is out of his RTDL point troubles. Soon he will have to face both the Elite Collector and the Bronze Collector from Forza 7. Fortunately, House Kahuna always pays their debts and always eats tasty burgers. In fifth place, how would you like your rocker dude prepared? Well done, medium, medium well. How about rare? Replay.
That was good. That was good.
You see what I did there? Yeah. With 1/4 of his list accounting for almost 3,000 unclaimed points, all coming from this single game. Rocker looks to turn the heat down on his grill while simultaneously turning the heat up on everyone else. In the meantime, this reanimated RTDLer can hang out with Peach Fuzz as he continues harvesting points from The Walking Dead. We got an honorable mention, too.
Who?
Yeah. Who? Who but Proulx? Proulx. Don't say it 3 times. In his response to get the Z2Z community to summon him, they asked him if he was a host, and his response was, I am the host with the most, babe. Having already scored as many points in the month of December as he did in November, he has brought ruin and pestilence to the land with his Blight Explorer, Chivo, and Borderlands 2. His chilling alive without breath pop from Dishonor confirms his corpse for what it is, a mere shell of himself. For such confirmation is unneeded. One can already assess such claim by merely noticing that Prue's list is already a third of the way completed. Yet, his Star Trek Chivo remains untouched. It's showtime. And with that, I give you your RTDL update, Reanimated Corpses Edition.
Beetle Proof. Gee, Elroy, that was another great segment. Are we almost done? Because you mentioned something about half-naked, oily men.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that, El. I was kind of hoping that you'd stick around a little bit longer because I had an idea for a mini segment.
Another segment?
Yeah, it's kind of a segment within a segment, if you will.
Okay. What kind of segment?
Just try it out here. So I was thinking maybe something that is topical and kind of keeps the RTDL modern and current with the modern times, if you will. So I had a list in mind.
Mm-hmm. Another list. Okay.
Yes. So these are the top 4. The top 4. Yeah, the top 4 Chivo pops on the December RTDL so far that are endorsed by Matt Lauer.
Uh-oh.
Number 4, Beast Middle, Smitty. Ultratron achievement of supervisory position.
Nice.
Number 3, Kingsman 2625's Rumbo achievement of butt.
Wow.
Number 2, Matriarch's Dungeons & Dragons Chronicles of Mystara achievement of need more fingers.
Ew.
And number 1, Rocker Dudes Evolve Chiva of Bone Jockey.